Welcome to another episode of Tech Conversations, hosted by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. In today's episode, I wanted to talk to you about how you can be more successful in the work environment, in the corporate environment. I see so many people who are, honestly, they're just complaining about the job that they accepted to take, and it can be very discouraging for people who are looking to enter this field, whether they're graduating from college, whether they just got out of a boot camp or took some online courses or whatever the case may be, right? But I think that the general problem is that people can be very, very negative in their approach to everything, right? So before we get any deeper into it, if you haven't done so already, do me a big, big favor: like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time that we go live. Also, go over to www.techcoachralph.dev, join the Tech Barbarians, the Tech Savages, the Tech Prodigy. Just join us, and you can get some amazing additional information, exclusive information, as well as sign up for one-on-one coaching with me. You can message back and forth with me. I'm here to answer your questions, help you out in whatever way that you need. All right. So with that being said, how can you be more successful in the corporate environment? How can you be more successful on the job site, in the work environment, right? So this is just mainly one big tip that I have learned. I wish I knew this when like 20 years ago, right? When I just started working, but I went through it so that it can be a little bit easier on you if you are just getting into the work environment, any work environment, but especially in the tech industry, right? So my biggest advice to you who is new to the field, new to working, maybe, like I said, you might have just graduated. Maybe you were doing some other type of work your entire life. My biggest thing is to leave your emotions at the door. In jiu-jitsu, we have a saying, leave your ego at the door, which is it's hard to do, right? But I think that people in general, are way too emotional. People always say, embrace your emotions, embrace your emotions. I'll tell you this. Your emotions can and will get you fired, will get you terminated. Because when people tell you to be so emotional in everything that you do, and then you end up saying the wrong thing on the job because, you were in your feelings, and then now you have to be dealt with accordingly. See me, I don't believe in having your emotions run your life. Biggest mistake ever. And now let's put it more practical into the sense of a workplace, maybe in tech, right? Now you have to understand, in tech, it is a bunch of very knowledgeable, a lot of times highly educated, very creative people who are working. And a lot of times the way that people can talk to each other, especially for people who may not be the most social people, because generally in tech, like especially back in the days, it was the anti-social club, right? It was the anti-social club because we would just get together, we'd write code and stuff like that. But we wouldn't really talk. Nowadays, things are changing because now we have project managers and scrum masters and product owners and all the different sorts that, and with the sprint reviews and all these different meetings that we have to communicate. And sometimes the communication might seem a bit abrasive, but to me at least, it's always focused. Like we need to always center it on the work that needs to be done, on the common goal. So now let's get into the not being too emotional part. I think people in general, especially in today's day and age, people are walking around looking to be triggered by something or by someone, especially if it is someone that they deem as maybe an enemy, or they're looking not to like, or they just don't like, right? And I think that is to our detriment. To me, I always take the approach of giving grace, never assuming the worst. And my number one focus, and one of the reasons I do this, my number one focus for this is, what am I here for? What am I here for? In the past, I made the mistake of being too friendly with bosses, coworkers, etc. And throughout my lifetime, my career, I noticed that we should keep it focused on work, because guess what? People have falling outs all the time. And I would rather not necessarily have a falling out with coworkers, managers, whoever. And that way, like we keep our emotions out of it because what is our goal? See, I'll share this with you. When I'm working, my goal is for developing a great software that the customers are going to love. That's number one goal. The second goal is that I don't have any problems, any beef, any whatever with anybody. And then my third goal, which they might be vice versa, but my third goal is that I learn. So many people, they're like, oh, that's not my job. Oh, they're treating me like a secretary, or oh, they have no love or no respect for this position, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, my focus is all right. I'm asked to do something. Is it going to give to the betterment of the project they're working on? Is it going to not cause any conflicts? And what can I learn out of this? There are so many things that I do that it wouldn't be typically in my job description, but guess what? I'm always thinking about how does this look? How does this sound in an interview? How does this look on a resume? I went above and beyond, and I learned this new really cool thing. I've never really heard of QA engineers working on Terraform or being highly skilled in Docker and stuff like that. But those type of things, they give me excitement, they give me a thrill. And while I really enjoy the people that I work with, but at the end of the day, they have their own lives, they have their own friends. I have my own life, I have my own friends. But we do great work together. And I'm never in my life have I ever been looking to be best friends with somebody. I have I meet people, we end up becoming friends, but it's not like that I'm actively seeking. And one of the problems that I see people make, right? And this is how their emotions get right in the midst of things. They are looking to be they're looking for best friends, or looking for boyfriends or girlfriends or future spouses or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, that is not my focus at all, because I have to keep my emotions separately, because you'll when we are looking, like when we focus on negativity, when we're looking to be triggered by something, the smallest thing that someone says, you're going to take it as, oh, it's because of this, it's because of that, oh, it's because of my race, it's because of my gender, it's because of whatever. And I think that we because we are so quick to be triggered by whatever, we come into these jobs with these preconceived notions of like, oh, a corporation is this and a company is that. And just starting off with that, you're starting off on the wrong footing. See, my mindset is, all right, let's go out there and win. So many of us, we love sports, we love some type of competition, we love all this stuff, but in our own lives, we don't treat it as a competition, where to me, every single thing is a competition. Your company is competing with its competitors. You're competing to win, because I always want to win. I always want to be the first to figure something else out. And to me, that's healthy competition. I love when I can figure something out and bring it back to the team and say, hey, we can do something like this or like that, or look at this cool thing that I found. And I benefit so much from it because I'm learning so much in the process. And I think if we were to shift our mindset, we would do so much better working with people in general. I think it is to our detriment that we are, as a population, so negative. Everything, people want to strike. They want to say, oh, they said this to me, or they said that to me, and it's just like, when we have that mindset, now these managers in these companies are like, ugh, we're gonna do enough to keep them happy, but we're not like they already hate us. We come into these positions already as our company, our boss is the adversary. Me, I never seen it that way. Well, I can't say I never seen it that way, but lately, I don't see it that way. I want to partner with my team, the scrum masters, the product owner, my manager, the CEO, CTO, whoever, anyone at the company. I want to partner with instead of getting frustrated by so I'll give you an example. So things that can happen, things that can frustrate you. Which and this one isn't even emotional. It's just like things with day to day work, but it can get into your feelings and get into your emotions. If you're working in tech, right, and you have a code base that you're primarily responsible for, and then another team because like they're doing some work and they need to use it, but they don't do the work exactly the way that you're accustomed to do it. Now you have two options. You can get upset and bothered and talk negatively to your team or to your manager or whoever about the other team who's working in your repo, or if we are in it for ultimate success, because a lot of people, oh, I don't care about my company because they're making their money. No, see me, I care because here are the reasons that I care. And this is why I want the other teams who are working on our stuff to be successful. And I want to be successful when I'm working on other teams' things is because, right, the company being successful is also me being successful. Thinking about bonuses, companies that offer you stock options or RSUs, performance based. That is equity. So if the company does good, then you do good as well. But here's another thing. For my personal development, if I can find a better way to do things, or if I can mentor someone, hey, this is how we do things on this team that we can, and this is the reason that we do it. No attitude, just pure collaboration. And I think that we miss that because sometimes people can misconstrue what you say because like I said, people are generally negative. So if they misconstrue what you say, then you say, hey, no, I didn't mean it that way. And you work on building the relationship, the bond, a professional relationship. You don't have to hang out outside of work. You don't have to be besties. And I think that the problem is so many people are looking to be besties instead of looking to win. People always talking about Shaq and Kobe. See, people wanted them to be besties. And they were focused on winning. Now, towards the end, maybe not so much. But is it possible to have a amicable winning relationship? I think so. Do you have to see eye to eye on everything? No. Let's as long as we can see eye to eye on the goal, on winning. That's what matters to me. See, everywhere we go, we're looking to be liked. And I don't think the necessary desire is to be liked. I think it's to get along and win. People are always talking about, oh, respect, respect, respect. Well, the thing about respect is if you're losing, nobody cares about your respect. See, I would prefer to be respected because I'm doing an amazing job instead of, oh, I just deserve it. You know me, I don't believe anyone deserves anything, right? Like if you're a jerk, like why should someone respect you? But putting your best foot forward all the time, not getting triggered, not being offended by any little thing, which you probably misunderstood. I always try to give the benefit of the doubt, give grace. And I think with that mindset, with that approach, it puts us in a much, much, much better situation than if we are always walking around looking for who's trying to offend us, or just being like triggered by everything. There are people who live for that, and those people, a lot of times, they're the most unsuccessful. Now, you have some celebrities who have the same mindset, but imagine if their mindset was a little bit different. How much more successful they could be. People won't have to say that they're hard to work with and stuff like that. They're a pain. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. In the opposite way, the way to be the most successful in the corporate environment, in tech, on the job site, is to add value. It is so hard to add value when you have a negative mindset barrier in front of you. And I'll give a shout out to me, Mystify, because we were talking in a Discord one time, and this like had to be months ago, and he was telling me that how he embraces the negative mindset because the world is negative. And my response was, well, I agree that the world is negative, but that doesn't mean I have to join the world of the negativity. And by me going around all that negativity and working on, like, focusing on the positive and the success, that puts me in a much better area, a much better light. So that while people are losing because all they focus on is the glass being half empty, I'm taking everything that could have been theirs because I see the glass is half full. And seeing me, Mysify, embracing that positive mindset and seeing, like, just seeing a change. It's refreshing, you know? And while I'm talking more about, like, tech and stuff like that, but it's just, it applies to your entire life. But I always try to keep a positive mindset on the job. And sure, you might get frustrated for a split second, but then you remember, okay, I'm not going to let my emotions handle this. What is the best light I can see this in? Is this what it really is? And usually it's not. And usually you're making a bigger deal than it really is. And just let it go. Keep your eyes focused on keep your eyes focused on the prize. What is the prize though? My prize is to get my bonuses, get my stock options, get my paycheck, create great software, learn, produce great content, share with you the things that I'm learning, being able to use it on the job. There are some things I've done in the past year I would have never imagined that I would have been able to do. That's because I'm focused on winning, on being successful. And I just bring you guys along with me to see it. Pretty much just about everything that you've seen me do on stream, I've been able to use it on the job as well. And things that I've been able to learn and use on the job, I've been able to show it on stream. But it's all about the mindset and the approach that you take to it. So, my very top tip: don't listen to all the doomers, as they like to call them, who tell you that, because that negative mindset, of course they can't land a new role, because they approach their resume, their application, their interview with the mindset of, oh my God, like there's no chance that's going to happen. Oh, and the person who's interviewing me, they're the enemy anyways. Oh, why do I have to go through so many steps of an interview? Oh, why do I have to do a coding project? Oh, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? Instead of saying, you know what, every step of the way I am going to crush it. And if they decide not to give me an option, then that's their loss, not mine. Because I know that I am absolutely amazing. And that is the mindset that you need to portray throughout the whole process, throughout your whole life. I mean, I don't listen to. I'll tell you, I'll be having conversations, and I see like I have like a 2 to 3 message maximum, and when I see that you're locked into that negative mindset, I'm like, all right, cool, good luck. You got it. You got it. You know better than me, because I am not going to have an argument or a debate over why it's so great to lose. Because I'm just going to keep winning. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. If you want to embrace the winning mindset, then maybe we should work together. How can we work together? Go over to www.techcoachralph.dev. You can sign up for the Patreon. You can talk back and forth. You can join a coaching group, coaching tier. And then we can work together. We can run it up. You mean? I am a tech savage. I don't believe in taking any losses. And that negative mindset is the first loss. And that's you're just gonna keep losing that way. You can be so much further with the right mindset. All right. Anyhow, gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Candid Conversations with yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where we're in to win. Do me a favor on your way out. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, notification bell so you know every single time that we go live and drop new content. And come work with me. Go over to www.techcoachralph.dev. Sign up for a coaching plan, and we will run it up together. But on that note, this is Tech Coach Ralph. We are out.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.